I just don't care.
Yeah, I don't need. I can't control it because I can't get into that. That's just the way it was assigned to me. So 413, measuring air temperature. This, I don't know, this one is conceptually very easy to understand. So we're going to move through setting this up, I think, rather quickly. And you guys can always go back to 412 if you need to do some finish up on it. The weather on the Earth is directly related to differences in the temperature of air. That's pretty straightforward, right? You go up in elevation, typically it gets colder. You go down in elevation or closer to the equator, typically air temperature will increase. Have you ever gone to the beach and felt the warm breeze blow over you as you stand and look at the waves? Winds occur because of the difference in temperatures of the air above the ocean as compared to the air above the land. If you look at temperature charts and related wind charts, you can see a relationship. Temperature changes also influence the formation of some clouds and fog. As warm, moist air rises above fields in the summer, cooling occurs and clouds will form. As those same fields lose heat to space on a clear night, the air will cool and fog may form. Seasonal and daily air temperature changes can have great effects on ecosystem and plant growth. Understanding the factors that affect air temperature and how air temperature determines climate will give you a deeper knowledge of ecosystems. So we could do something as straightforward as, how does air temperature affect climate? All right, so let's look at the assignment to see. And I have all the data tables printed off for you, so you do not need to recreate these. We have metal rods in the back that we can put together. We also don't necessarily need the rods. We can be creative in other ways, but it's up to you what you guys want to do. So in part one, you'll work individually to predict. We're going to have to do this in pairs because we don't have enough LabQuest for every single person to have one. Predict changes in air temperature occurring near the ground over 24-hour period. We're going to make this 48 because I don't think anybody's going to come in here tomorrow and record data. You will work with a group in part 2 and 3 to measure and analyze temperature changes occurring near the ground over 24 hours. So for part 1, I'm going to give you a piece of paper and you are going to predict what a graph of temperature versus time for one day would look like. Or just go ahead and do it for a 48-hour period. So for this, you're going to draw a very simple graph. Temperature will be your y-axis and time of day will be your horizontal axis. And you're going to sketch what will happen throughout. You know, for the graph, to keep it simple, keep it at a 24-hour period. That's going to make more sense. So if you feel like the temperature is going to climb by a certain time of day and then decrease again as nightfall goes, answer the questions. What would you expect the air temperature right next to the ground? Do you expect it to be colder or hotter than the air above the ground? Would you expect the difference to be same throughout the day? Okay, simple, simple. Now for part 2, we are going to have to plug our LabQuest in. No matter what, we are not going to be able to have these things run overnight unless they're plugged in. So what I'm trying to tell you is your LabQuest needs to be set up near an outlet. That's just unfortunately what we have to do. It has weather conditions that you will chart over the 24-hour period. So setting up your LabQuest is absolutely essential. You guys see this right here where it's in bold? On the meter screen, tap rate. You're gonna wanna do this for let's just do it for 24 hours. It will store the data, and then when we come back in here on Thursday, we'll have the data for 24-hour period. Okay, but you have to store this for a 24-hour period. Now, you're gonna have one LabQuest, and you're gonna have two temperature sensors. So you are going to have to think, where can you have differential between the two? Okay, you can, I don't want to use this front counter, but we can use the back ones. If you want a temperature sensor in a drawer, if you want one laying on the counter, if you want to do over here and you want one laying on the counter, one in the windowsill, that would be a cool one because you've got sunlight, you've got the ambient external temperatures. You guys following me with this? So you can plug a temperature probe into channel 1, plug a temperature probe into channel 2, and then set up your LabQuest appropriately, and it will record that data over that 24-hour period. It won't, however, record over the 24-hour period unless you do this. Make sense? And then you'll have two branches of data. That is one of the advantages. So take a minute, work on table 1, which is nothing. I mean, that's you hypothesizing what's going to occur over a 24-hour period. And then you guys can set up your LabQuest. And essentially, this one is put to the side until we come back on Thursday. So that gives you the opportunity to go back to 412 and wrap it up. And you should have plenty of time, right, Dalton?
Security update, I see.
Oh, gosh.
Someone needs to watch this.
I just deleted it. We're not supposed to, unless they tell us to go through an update. So we're playing Kurt's in the playroom. Yes, that's data for
We don't.
412.
I've
Make
got
sure
an
there's a
Android
few conclusions.
Android charger.
I have a battery. Let's use that.
I can freeze this one if that's helpful.
Best I can. I got a battery. You want to use it? Let's try to use it.
Is it an Android?
Yeah, it works on Android. Should be able to.
I just need the charger part. I don't need the battery.
Or, okay, we'll do that.
Just gotta charge my headphones.
Okay.
Thanks, man.
That one, Daddy.
You know what? Kaufman, that silly guy.
What do you do?
What?
My previous, he changed this. I was going off memory. He has you doing one sensor.
What?
Just go how you used to do it. And then just
What? How many are we supposed to use? Why haven't we supposed to use it?
The intention behind that is that you have two different locations. Let me read through this and see how he changed this. So here's your data. That's the central location. Be sure.
I texted my girl and I told her my wrist hurts. I think it's sprained, and she just left me on red. She's a kid.
He has a class divide them up, so some in the shade, some in the sun. So sun wrong.
Which some these for like that's helping?
Yeah, that's goofy. I don't think we need to set up the rods and the clamps, to be quite honest. I can tell you guys this, when we hosted this case conference here at the high school, we left the sensors out overnight and we put them in little plastic bins, and I was a nervous wreck.
Great job, doing big things.
That is such a horrible idea. We are not putting these outside because if they get wet, they're gone. And I was thinking that when we ran this.
You know they just make solar tips, right?
It just has us do
They pay
one.
you for gas.
We can do one.
Wait, they
It's
don't
just
like
half the class literally needs
That's
to
like what
be
they
in a
pay
sunny
you.
location and half needs to be in a shady
Money
location.
off of tips.
I personally am interested to see what would happen between like on a floor location versus the windowsill versus in a cabinet. This cloth is really cold. There's a thousand. What's up, Chase? They're being good.
Hold on.
What kind of graph are you talking?
So you're just gonna keep it real straightforward.
We grandma just freaking 2 hours later. Are you okay? No, I'm dead.
So this is gonna be time of day,
Okay.
and this will be temp. So really for time, I mean, you could start this wherever you want to start, Dalton. You could say 6 a.m.
Is this temperature gonna be in Celsius or Fahrenheit?
I would do it in Celsius. To 6 a.m. So you know how is your graph gonna trend? This is just an estimate of yours. This is just you coming up with a hypothesis of what the curve would look like.
So could I put like,
Does that help or make sense or?
can I put like 9:30 a.m. to 9:30?
Yeah, that's fine. It's arbitrary. As long as it's a 24-hour period, it doesn't matter. So yeah, you can choose any time. If you want to choose when the class starts, that makes sense.
I mean,
Or start it for 10:30 or 10:15. Because whatever time maybe you would have your sensor set up by,
I'm gonna wait until we start just
yeah, and then you can start there.
yeah, then that way I can see what the talk is.
60 pounds.
LabQuest are back here. You gotta make sure you set them up to record over a 24-hour period there. Or if you want to be extra, set them up for 48. You can set them up for as long as you want. They have got to be plugged in. So if you guys want to do this, plug it and have your sensor lane. It's all for, yeah, because I'm in here now instead of my room. Now that the plant room is set up though, we might start putting a little bit of stuff in there. The real cold weather should be done though, we'll see. We're probably not totally done with winter yet.
When will we be done with winter? Like, I'm tired of this up and down stuff.
I know. Welcome to Indiana, I guess.
Okay.
I don't like Indiana.
It's fine. I don't know, it makes me want to kill myself.
When's Mardi Gras?
Mardi Gras, it ends on Tuesday. No, yeah, it ends today. Because tomorrow is Ash Wednesday.
Lily, Rob Hayes stresses me out with these emails about like future grade stuff.
What?
It's fine. Thursday next week. Right?
Is this yours?
Yeah.
Can I scoot this up a little bit?
Oh, sorry.
Thanks.
Gonna hit Lily like that. I know you
We
don't
don't
know
get
her.
a lot.
Sorry. I don't hit people.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to.
I think it's cute.
That's cute. I'm making, if I go to prom, I'm going to make mine.
Joseph.
Why? Because I don't feel like buying one because it's too damn expensive.
This is like an Easter dress. Never mind.
Let's say that looks like very.
Yeah, because it's silly for me to get out a bunch of beakers and I got washed them and everything else. You've got time for your eggs and temperature for
No,
your
she's
wine.
going to Louisiana, silly Lily.
I'm live. Leave me alone. Believe I can fly.
Wait, you're lying.
Here, we
on
can set
YouTube?
these up to
Yeah.
underwater.
What are you doing?
Absolutely nothing. I don't do anything.
Good deal.
You just got on YouTube Live just to sit there and stare at the camera.
Pretty much
Who are the comments saying?
nothing really.
Joe.
I
What?
swear to God.
She's on YouTube
Shut
Live.
up. I'm not. Liar. I want to do something like this.
Yeah, but so you have to have a figure for it.
Huh?
You have a figure for it.
It gives you
Kind
that
of do.
information on it.
You have to.
What?
Or even if
like
you just
literally
go to like
in
weather.com.
Not
you know,
not really, because
where?
I'm gonna make it like a crop top, like a high-waisted two-piece, so that I don't have to have.
I can't remember what Sunset stuff is.
Plus,
Just look it up.
I also
It'll
have a
tell
couple
you.
corsets.
If you
I just don't wear them to school
Indianapolis Sunrise,
because
Indianapolis
it hurts. I've also thought about one like something like that, with like almost like a halter top.
Yeah, we lose an hour of sleep. I hate that. Yeah, but it still messes with me because
Yeah, like that kind of top, but it's
gonna
gonna be
be
open.
light until
Like
8
it'll
o'clock,
look.
and it
This is the
happens
back
all
of it, and I
at
really
once.
like kind
It's
of like
no-
the.
I like the back of that, but
Very
like
See, like
for
my
that one,
homecoming. Okay, my homecoming dress was like a black tee, and it had like rhinestones like right in here.
yeah, but like it'll kind of look like.
Lily, I'm so over it. I mean, I really am. I
That's a
never,
whole-
ever.
Yeah, but it'll have like an open piece to it with like a sweetheart cut.
Yeah, that's a halter. This is a halter.
Yeah.
I mean, it's yes, in the sense the neckline is considered a halter because it goes around the neck,
Yeah.
but it's not a true halter. I have a picture of it.
What are we selling?
Oh my God.
Ooh, cool. Good. Yeah.
I think this one's cute.
And we can go.
Personally, it kind of
we
gives
can
a
go
bit
there
kind
and
of
let me
retro,
text
kind
you
of
or-
grungy.
Yeah, I
Kind of
just.
Carrie vibe.
Maybe we can.
Mm,
Here's another
I think
thing
it's
you gotta
cute.
sell to my wife.
not my
See, all the
style,
stuff
but I
you
can
guys
see
sell,
it.
I want.
Like I don't really like it, but
You know, you're
maybe
not,
that's just
I'm
your
not
style.
your
Whatever
true,
floats your boat, huh?
So that's your okay.
Because I need one
This is a halter.
that-
Yeah.
It's reloading.
Yeah, but this piece will be open. Yeah, completely.
I thought about it.
And I want like it to go
I don't
around
wanna draw all
specifically
that
the
in.
neck, so it'd
The
have like a
gooseneck
thick
plate on
I was
strap.
looking at this one.
Oh my God, did they rust?
That's
Because
cute.
they trap everything there against the frame.
I was looking at that one. That one's
Of
really
course,
pretty.
I
I
use
think.
that other driver.
Um,
So that's one reason why.
I'm looking at that one.
I've seen that one.
So David's
It's like cute. I like how it's kind of like.
I'm just gonna have fun
Gothic.
lacing this.
Oh God, corsets are such a pain in the ass. Like
No, I
corset
mean-
strings.
My mom's gonna lace it. I'm gonna have to like literally be like. Okay,
Yeah.
so I know how to lace them because I had to lace the girls for spring spec and unlace it really quick.
Yeah, I know how to. It's
And
just hard to
honestly-
do on yourself
You can't really lace it yourself.
unless you were to turn it around.
True.
Because
But
like
then-
the the ones that I have, they're just like they don't go up above.
They're underbust.
They're underbust, so I can turn it around when I'm done lacing it. And even then, it's still hard because I'm looking down and it's like backwards.
Yeah, this dress is though like obviously you can't really flip a whole dress because there's a crinoline underneath it. and a
Exactly.
skirt.
Exactly. So you can't really
So
turn it.
it's got a little bit of volume to it.
Yeah.
Joe, you know what we need for all the plant garbage that we have? We need a small mini barn out there, like right in this corner. So that we like,
out the helicopter
Mm.
drop it.
well, that's what sucks.
Yes,
It'd have to be
great.
like shot in pieces.
What are you?
I mean,
I'm watching Meme Awards.
I doubt that one.
You can skip the ad.
Well, you know how they got that one there. Just 4 doors.
Yeah, they didn't get it all. We got pieces.
Wait, what's the purpose of going live if you're like,
I do it all the time.
You know what I mean?
how many subscribers do you have?
Not very many. I think I only have like fucking 10 or some shit, 13.
Like 10.
Well, I don't really do like anything. Like I don't upload or
I
anything.
posted like a couple motocross videos. And
I don't like
they're
do
not even
anything.
funny.
I don't even have that many views.
They messaged me.
I have 19 subscribers.
Huh?
I have 19 subscribers.
What are your videos?
Mainly live videos.
What's the picture?
That was when I was wearing my crop top. The day
Okay,
you
what's
were
the
like,
video though?
they're all live streams. Except for the first two. These are the only two actual videos I have.
What's okay? The bottom one.
This is my first video and it's me singing.
I want to see it.
No,
What?
because
What's your name? Got it.
no. Stop, no. Seriously, I'm about to make them private anyways. I'm about to make them private so you're not going to be able to watch them.
Got it.
That's what you're using.
It won't load.
Well, I can watch it.
Jason.
What's the point of having it on there if you don't want people watching it?
Because it's literally super
It's such an
freaking cringy.
Okay, well,
Don't be a girl.
And I can't really sing for shit, so I don't even know why I uploaded it.
Bullock,
What?
I think go to Rushmore. Is that okay?
no, it's not okay.
You sure about that?
God, let me delete this video, please. Like, whole ass, I'm about to just delete it. No,
Give me my
Chloe!